And we welcome you back to Shirley Povich Field for Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Gaithersburg Giants and the Bethesda Big Train. My partner Eli Kleinman, I'm Adam Glover. We welcome you back as the Big Train look for a doubleheader sweep, winning the first game 10-1. Of course, Eli in dominant fashion. Offense looked great. Jeffrey Hurd with 5 RBIs, and the pitching excellent as well.
Yeah, the pitching was really good and just allowed the one unearned run, actually.
Yes.
Because of 3 errors. And otherwise, the Big Train really dominated that game. It took a little while for the offense to get going, but for the most part, it was easy sailing.
Well, a brand new lineup for the Gaithersburg Giants. They have completely changed it up. You see it on your screen there with Williamson, Gibbs, and Butler being the first 3 you'll see, almost like spring training for Major League Baseball, where you often don't have the same lineup consistently, and a lot of the starters are not playing in every single game, but they will take their swings off of Jesse Gutierrez, a left-hander who has looked really, really good this season for the Big Train. This will be start number 3 for Jesse, and he has been outstanding. 8 innings, no runs, 2 hits, just 1 walk as well, and 9 strikeouts. Of course, his first start back on the 12th of June against the Senators, only 3 innings, but I mean, we were here when he pitched against the Crop Dusters, and even though the Crop Dusters won that game, 5 shutout innings against that tough lineup.
Yeah, he's been excellent so far this year, just a dominant pitcher, and he is able to work efficiently, which is key for the Big Train.
Bethesda has a few changes of their own in their lineup. We'll look at that in the bottom half of the inning, though. Ryan Williamson to lead it off, the starting shortstop to face Jesse Gutierrez. In the first pitch, will be a fastball that misses high and outside.
Gutierrez is a guy who throws strikes. That's his strength. He has great command of the zone with all 4 pitches.
This one hit in the air out toward left field. Jeffrey Hurd going back. He makes the grab, and it's out number 1.
And Gutierrez is a guy who can strike people out. He certainly has the ability, but what we've seen from him early is he also loves to pitch to contact. He's happy to get weak contact and get easy outs as well, which helps keep the pitch count down.
Williamson retired, and here is Casey Gibbs, and he swings at the first pitch and drives this one down towards the Bethesda bullpen, hits off of the net, a foul ball. Gibbs just 1 game so far this season for the Giants, and that was back on the 24th yesterday against the DC Grays in a 4-2 win, going 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. Gutierrez moving quickly, the 0-1, and it's a breaking ball that misses high and outside.
Yeah, that breaking ball is a really good pitch. The curveball, it just drops right where he wants it to go. Great command over that pitch.
Just went a little far outside. 2 balls and a strike. We're glad to be back with you here. Like my partner Eli said in Game 1, had a long stretch of no baseball. A called strike with a fastball at the knees. Had an off day Tuesday, 3 straight rainouts Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then a game postponed yesterday due to unplayable conditions. This one, a breaking ball, flared out toward right field. It falls in front of the right fielder, Dean Twigo, who gets the start in Game 2, and it's the first hit for Gaithersburg.
Yeah, and a nice swing of the bat, just loops one over the right side and gives the board. Giants left a lot of guys on base in Game 1. They have to fix that if they want to try and upset the Big Train.
So here's Jake Butler, the starting third baseman here in Game 2, and Gutierrez immediately now out of the stretch. Looking the runner over, now delivers. This one chopped down to third. Guerrero will go to second. Lucas Phelps the turn to first in time, and the Big Train go around the horn 5-4-3, and they turn the double play. Gutierrez looks strong in the first inning, a really quick inning. As a matter of fact, we'll go to the bottom of the first. The Big Train coming to bat for the first time in this game. Bottom of the first inning, the Big Train coming to bat for the first time in the game, and there is the starting lineup for Bethesda. Again, a little bit different. Lucas Phelps gets the start in this ball game. You also see Nick DeLisi and Zeb Ruddle and Dean Twigo as well. 4 new Big Train in the lineup who were not in game 1, as Phelps standing in against Nicholas Carls, and Phelps wasting no time, drives this one to left center field. That's back, and it's going to two-hop the wall. Phelps easily will get into second base standing with a double.
Oh, that's a great start. That's a great sign for Lucas Phelps, a guy who really doesn't play every day but has made an impact when he's on the field, and one of the fastest guys in this Big Train lineup, and that's a really nice swing of the bat to get things started.
So Nicholas Carls, again, the starting pitcher. Appearance number 5 on the year for him, just his 3rd start. Last time out on the 18th when he tossed 4 innings of a 2-hit ball, shutting down the Metro Soco Braves as Rasmussen fouls this one out of play. It was a game that the Gaithersburg Giants would lose 12-11. And all 12 runs came after the 4th inning. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs to even up the count after Nicholas Carls had left. Also has pitched against the T-Bolts and the Senators, in addition to another time against the Braves. First time going out there this year against the Big Train. Rasmussen swings and fouls this one out of play.
And you really want to get this big out, because on deck is the hottest hitter in the lineup after game 1 in Jeffrey Hurd.
One-two pitch, and a big swing and a miss. Rasmussen can't catch up to the pitch high and outside. He goes down swinging, and it's the first out.
And nice bounce back by Carls. Gives up the big hit, but then bounces back nicely.
And here is Hurd. 5 RBIs, a couple of singles, a home run. Continuing what has been a incredible start. And he wastes no time swinging at this one, pops it up into foul territory near the Big Train dugout. This one will be caught for out number 2. It's the 3rd baseman, Jake Butler, making the play.
Give a lot of credit to Carls. Has bounced back really nicely. First pitch ambush by Lucas Phelps, but then able to get 2 quick outs. It doesn't get any easier, though, with Carter Cunningham, who said he's here this summer for a good time, and a good time he's had so far. Aren't we all here for a good time?
Right, all here to get better, all here to have fun. First one to Cunningham, a fastball that misses low. Carls out of high school, touching at 87 miles an hour as a high with that fastball. Also has a curveball to go with it. Currently at Moorhead State.
Big thing for Carls, the velocity drop-off between the 2 pitches.
Fastball up and in, 2 balls and no strikes.
When you create roughly a 15-mile-an-hour difference between your 2 pitches, the fastball velocity does help if you have a higher velocity.
Yes.
But the 15-mile-an-hour difference also is huge.
Cunningham ropes this one foul towards the crowd that has died down a bit. We had a nice group of people out here at 10 a.m. when that first game started, but with the temperature up in the 90s now, I'm sure a lot of people going home. Yeah. Cunningham pops it up in the infield. It'll be the first baseman who calls everyone off and making the catch, Matthew Williams, to end the inning. Well, the Big Train can't get anything going, but Jeffrey Hurd, of course, like we said, in that first game had 5 RBIs. And our own Kaylee Tallman caught up with him after the first game to talk about his performance. Let's hear what they had to say. Our own Kaylee Tallman catching up with Jeffrey Hurd, one of a couple Big Train players she interviewed after a really nice offensive performance that saw this team score 10 runs and get back on track after a couple of low-scoring and close games to wrap up that 11-game stretch before the off day on Tuesday.
Yeah, it turned into an off week.
Yeah. Jesse Gutierrez packed to the mound. The first one skips in the dirt. This is Matthew Williams, the first baseman who made the catch to in the bottom of the first. Matthew Williams, Zach Martin, and Will Wickner. Middle part of the order due up. 1-0. This one hit out toward right field. Twigo coming in. He's going to let it fall in front of him, and it will be a base hit.
Second hit of the day allowed by Gutierrez. A couple balls have been squared up nicely, but again, he pitches to soft contact. You're going to give up hits at points because you pitch to contact. And it also helps that he has really good stuff at the bottom of the zone that helps him roll a double play like he got in the first.
What is interesting, though, is you mentioned the soft contact. You're going to give up base hits, as this is a called strike to Zach Martin. Only 2 hits allowed through his first 8 innings coming in, and now has 2 hits in the first inning, and haven't even recorded an out here in the second. A little throw over with the runner getting back in time. Bethesda got a double play in the first. They'd love another one here. And a big swing and a miss from Zach Martin.
Yeah, don't be confused. Just because Gutierrez is a guy who pitches to contact does not mean he cannot strike guys out. He has overpowering stuff and can throw it right by guys, especially with that fastball.
And another throw over. No balls and 2 strikes. This one fouled off to the net. And another throw over, third time. And this one actually gets away from Cunningham, but Williams doesn't recognize it in time. Third time Gutierrez is thrown over to first.
And keeping a close eye.
Breaking ball hit in the air out towards center field. Zeb Ruddle under it. He makes the grab. And the out is recorded.
A nice job by Gutierrez working back, and now all of a sudden you're in a spot where you get a ground ball and you get out of the inning just like that.
And here's Will Wickner now. For his hometown team from Gaithersburg. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and the first pitch misses outside. A ball and no strikes.
It's always nice when you get to stay close to home.
Yes. Very different from how our roster is put together. 1-0. This one, a called strike at the knees to even up the count.
Isn't Gutierrez one of the best examples all the way from California?
And that shows you how much respect that Sal Colangelo has and how good he is at recruiting as well. This one a breaking ball, misses low and outside, trying to get him with that slider.
Yeah, building relationships, and Sal has been doing this a long time.
Two balls and a strike. Big spot open on the right side, and this one will go out there and fall in front of Twigo for a base hit. Wickner gets on. 2 singles in the inning, now 3 so far in the game.
Yeah, a couple nice base hits. And just setting the table for Gaithersburg, but again, it comes back to, can you bring the runs home? They could not do that in game 1, and ended up losing by 9 because of it.
This one fouled off and headed towards the picnics that we are just now starting, by the way, because we did not have picnics early on in the, at the beginning of this game. So I guess they did it a little later.
Picnics
at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. It's a little early.
You don't want Italian food in the morning?
Yeah, it's a little early for me. If you provided bagels or something of the sort, I might be more intrigued.
Brendan Kleiman now behind 0-2.
Brunch.
We're going to get back on the brunch discussion here. 0-2. This one's outside. A ball and 2 strikes. I can't even tell you the last time I've had brunch.
It's tricky because it's an interesting concept where
yes,
it kind of can fluctuate between, you could call it brunch, you could call it breakfast or lunch. It's just about what you decide to call your meal.
This one is popped up and headed out of play again towards the, now this one closer to the fun zone, but right next to the picnics.
Yeah, that almost hit someone.
Yeah, I could see them laughing about it. Max, one of our operations interns down there with a couple of high schoolers.
Yeah, I think he almost got hit in the head. He didn't look for the ball, he just covered his head, but it's hard to cover your entire head. You got to keep your head on a swivel.
1-2. This one flared, and this one again out of play.
Really would be insult to injury to not even get to watch the baseball game and then get hit in the head with a baseball.
Not to mention looking after those kids as well. And this one is fouled off, not a swing and a miss, fouled off and kicked away a little bit. But not to mention, again, those kids, that's tough. I mean, I know we've had a few incidents already down in the bounce house.
Yeah, I'm not going to be the one who talks poorly about kids. That's all you.
This one called, third strike at the knees. Gutierrez with his first strikeout of the game, and it's out number 2.
Now batting for the Giants from McLean, Virginia, the left fielder number 5, Andrew Ruggieri.
But certainly not one of the easier jobs at the ballpark.
Andrew Ruggieri. Lefty on lefty matchup. 2 on, 2 outs. And the pitch from Gutierrez, a slider in there for a strike.
And you imagine Gutierrez is working off some rust. Hasn't pitched in a while. Stuff looks good, but he's left a little too much over the plate.
0-1. This one on the corner. A called strike, and Gutierrez already ahead 0-2 on Ruggieri.
And that's the command that makes him such a dominant pitcher. You're not hitting that fastball. And so you have no better option than just to lay off of it.
0-2. This one bounces in the dirt. Nick DeLisi, the catcher, kind of backhands it, keeps it in front of him. Able to pick it like a first baseman. Now a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's important to keep runners at first and second rather than second and third.
1-2. This one missing outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gutierrez looking for the punch out, trying to get out of it. 2-2. And he goes back to the breaking ball, kicks the leg in the air, and gets the strikeout. Back to back to get out of the jam as Gaithersburg strands a couple of base runners. 3 hits for them now, but no runs. We'll go to the bottom half of the second. No score here from Shirley. Bottom of the second inning, no score, and the leadoff man coming up, Jason Schiavone, the DH, had a big game one, a double and a home run. Our Kaylee Tallman caught up with him in between the first and the second game. The first one to Schiavone will miss for a ball. Jason again with team lead in walks and a couple of base hits, including his first home run of the summer. This one hit out toward left field, and a diving catch made in left to rob Jason Schiavone of a base hit. Great play by Ruggieri.
Not the first time he's been robbed of an extra base hit in left field. He's hit the ball really hard the last couple games, and just obviously you mentioned the home run and the double, but still some games that probably should have a couple extra base hits that he doesn't have because of nice defensive plays.
Dean Twigo did not start in game one and takes this one down and in for a ball. Twigo fouls this one out of play.
Won't find a bigger soccer fan on the team than Dean Twigo.
Dean Twigo. I think we talked about this too.
Real Madrid fan.
1-1. This one down and in, 2 balls and a strike. Didn't he talk about that when we were in Lorton?
Yes. He and Patrick, our assistant general manager, love talking soccer. Twigo also an AC Milan fan.
Twigo fouls this one back, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But an appreciation for the game.
Maybe we'll have Patrick on during this game. We will see.
Yeah, there's always a lot of promises made around here.
Yes, there's always a lot of people who would love to join the broadcast. As Twigo swings, drives this one to center in the yard, though. Wickner under it. He'll make the grab for out number 2. A lot of people who want to be on the broadcast, but unfortunately, you know, being a general manager, assistant GM, or another intern, you have your own responsibilities that you have to take care of first.
Yeah, just not as cool as us.
Not as cool as us.
I mean, what else can I say?
Well, here's Jack Guerrero.
There are those of us who get to talk for a living, and then those who don't.
First one, a high strike call, 0-1. Now 5 in a row retired after Lucas Phelps started off the first inning with a double. 0-1. And a breaking ball. Same location, just a different pitch, and Guerrero behind 0-2.
That's a really nice breaking ball. Just puts it right where he wants it on that inside corner.
Fastball, Guerrero fouls this one off, stays alive. And giving Brendan Kleiman, the starting catcher, an opportunity. That ball hitting off his hand, I believe.
Yeah, it's never a comfortable feeling, and all of a sudden the hand starts turning interesting shades of yellow and green with the bruises. Catching is a position where you just get beat up constantly.
0-2. Breaking ball. Guerrero paused for a second, and it is upstairs for a ball. On another high curveball. The first one was called a strike. This one a little bit too high. Now the 1-2, and Guerrero lines it to center field. This one is going to drop in for a base hit, and a good job by Will Wickner to let up on that one. Had he dove, likely wouldn't have gotten there, and Guerrero would have been off and running.
Yeah, nice swing of the bat by Guerrero, and trying to set up some potential 2-out magic for the big train.
Well, here's Nick DeLisi now. 2-out rally has started with a base hit. Now we'll see if the starting catcher here in game 2 can continue it as the first one a fastball up and in for a ball. On a fastball, misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. But the win, I believe the Big Train now improved to 12-4. One of the best records in the Cal Ripken League. A win here would make it 13-4 and would give them 3 straight wins. And this one misses now. 3 balls and no strikes.
3 straight wins over one team.
Yes. And then, of course, off days Monday or tomorrow and Tuesday before hitting the road on Wednesday. And a 4-pitch walk to DeLisi.
It's a tough stretch starting Wednesday through Saturday. You play a total of 6 games over 4 days.
Not to mention that first game is against Southern Maryland, the first time and the only time in the regular season Bethesda will go down to Waldorf and go to Regency Furniture Stadium to take on the Senators.
I've already made a couple trips up here.
Zeb Ruddle swings, drives this one down the line, but foul.
It's a guy who's had a nice start to his summer. Few too many strikeouts probably for his liking, but still putting good swings on the baseball.
So when he takes it, a ball and a strike.
And a really good defensive outfielder in center.
1-1 the count. Ruddle fouls this one off. And now has to protect it 1-2.
Yeah, in a hole, and this is where you got to change the approach. Think about putting it in play.
And the first 2 outs recorded quickly. Guerrero singled, and DeLisi walked, and now Ruddle up in a 1-2 count. The pitch, and a breaking ball that misses outside, and a balk has been called, and both runners are going to advance, and that pitch will not be counted. So ball and 2 strikes. Again, that pitch not counted, and both Guerrero and DeLisi move up with the balk call on Nicholas Carls. Now a base hit could score 2. 1-2. This one a breaking ball that misses too far inside to even up the count. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Fastball. Called, 3rd strike. Ruddle doesn't agree, and he will walk slowly back to the dugout. 2 runners stranded, though, for the Big Train, as we're through 2 innings here at Shirley Povich Field. In Game 2 of the doubleheader, no score between the Giants and the Big Train. Jesse Gutierrez back out to the mound. Both teams stranding 2 base runners in the second inning, unable to bring home the game's first run. 3 hits so far for Gaithersburg, 2 for Bethesda. And it will be Eli Meredith, the second baseman, to lead it off here for the Giants. 9-1 and 2 due up. And the first one from Gutierrez, off speed and a big swing and a miss.
And we saw this last start from Gutierrez. It feels like he improves his stuff as he gets later into a game.
0-1, a fastball that misses up and in.
A little time to warm up, and then stuff is about as sharp as it gets in around third inning.
Another swing and a miss. Now 1 and 2. Gutierrez again ended the second with back-to-back strikeouts, 1 looking and 1 swinging, and has a chance to make it 3 in a row. And this ball bounced. Good foot in front of home plate. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch from Gutierrez. This one will be chopped foul. Two. Gutierrez takes something off. This one misses outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes, at risk of walking his first hitter.
Yeah, now you need to find a good pitch. Don't want to put it too much over the plate, though.
3-2, line drive into center field. It's going to be a base hit. It's the 4th single of the game for Gaithersburg, and it's a leadoff base runner.
You want to avoid the walk. You throw it over the plate, and then it leads to a pitch that can get hit hard.
He doesn't have the velocity that some of the other starters like Brandon Clark, like Ryan Erdelschweiger has. So that's a big reason for the pitch to contact approach that you see. Williamson, the leadoff hitter. Takes a strike, 0-1.
And again, if you're Gutierrez, ground ball can be your best friend in this situation.
The 0-1. This one misses outside. DeLisi has to go and grab it. And it evens up the count. The 1-1. This one on the ground to second, could be 2. Phelps will go to Rasmussen for 1. Relay to first in time for 6-3. And the big train turn, the double play.
It's exactly what Gutierrez got in the first inning, and he does it again in the third. Soft ground ball and a really easy play to turn 2. Nice job by Phelps and Rasmussen.
First one was 5-4-3. This one 4-6-3. And here's the designated hitter, Casey Gibbs. This one will miss outside. A ball and no strikes. And that's a breaking ball. That's a called strike on the inside corner. Late on a fastball, well behind it, and Gutierrez in a 1-2 count. Gutierrez delivers 1-2, breaking ball, poked into right field, and it's going to be a base hit. Now 5 singles in the first 3 innings for Gaithersburg.
Yeah, that was probably the softest hit single so far today, but again, just finds the right spot. And Gaithersburg have had guys on base. They've had guys on base both games against 2 really good pitchers in Gutierrez and Gale, but unable to capitalize so far.
Here's the third baseman, Jake Butler. And the First pitch, a fastball that misses too far inside, a ball and no strikes. One-0. This one on the ground, down the line, that's a fair ball. Gaithersburg will have an opportunity to try to get the first run. It kicks off the wall. Jeffrey Hurd will throw it to the cutoff man, Rasmussen. A run comes in. That ball ricocheted off the wall and kicked back into left field. And now Sal Colangelo out to potentially, was hoping maybe you see, he pointed at the home plate umpire. Maybe there would have been some kind of, dead ball, ground rule, out of play kind of thing. But it's an RBI double, and it's 1-0 Gaithersburg. And with Gibbs running on contact, and now they're actually threw it over to third to see if potentially Gibbs had missed third base. And now they're going to do it again. Home plate umpire will make the call safe. So not pointing to see if that ball should have been ruled a double and a dead ball with the runner holding at third. Pointing to see if the runner had hit third. This is a big swing and a miss to Matthew Williams. Oh and 1. Breaking ball hit off the end of the bat, down the line, long run for Twigo, and it's going into the Gaithersburg bullpen. And Gutierrez now ahead 0-2, and it's the first run allowed for Gutierrez in 10 2/3 innings this year.
Yeah, a couple hits just getting away, and the first extra base hit proves to be the costly one.
0-2. Fastball up and in, a ball and 2 strikes. Ball, 2 strikes. Butler dancing off second. Gutierrez will fake a throw. One-two pitch. This one bounces in the dirt, gets away from DeLisi. He'll barehand it. No throw made to third. It's a wild pitch. And the runner advances 90 feet. Big swing and a miss. Gutierrez comes back and gets the strikeout, his third so far in the outing. But Gaithersburg does strike for a run. They have 3 hits in the inning, now bringing them to 6. As we head to the bottom of the third, the Giants now lead 1-0. Lucas Phelps to lead this inning off here for the big train. A 1-for-1 day so far. Of course, led the game off, swinging at the first pitch and driving a double into the gap. And the first one to Phelps, a breaking ball that's in there for a strike. Top of the order here for Bethesda against Nicholas Carls, and this one misses outside.
Being careful with Phelps after he ambushed Carls last time.
Fastball to called strike at the knees. And Phelps didn't look like he liked it and walks out of the batter's box, spins around, now steps back in. 1-2. This one a breaking ball and a good block behind home plate by Kleiman. Two balls and two strikes. Phelps swings at a fastball and shoots this one out of play. Headed towards the parking lot. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nice job by Carls to battle back in this inning.
Phelps takes another pitch. The count goes full, 3-2. Connor Rasmussen, the shortstop, waiting on deck. 3-2. Breaking ball. And it's a called third strike. Phelps tossed the bat. And instead, Gaithersburg will throw it around. And now somebody said something from the dugout, whether it was Sal Colangelo or someone, home plate umpire waving his hand saying, none of that. And now it's Connor Rasmussen. And a called strike to Rasmussen at the knees.
Carls has had command of that strike zone early.
Rasmussen drops a bunt. It's a beauty. Bare hand pickup. The throw to first in time. Brendan Kleiman, are you kidding? What a great play by the Gaithersburg catcher. And it's out number 2.
Now batting for the big trade. University left fielder number 35.
That's a really nice play behind the plate. Have to go down the third base line and then spin and throw all in one motion for out number 2.
And here's Hurd, who swung at the first pitch in his last AB, popped out in foul territory. Takes the first pitch this time, a fastball in there for a strike. Oh, 0-1, the pitch. It's a breaking ball, and Jeffrey Hurd takes it, and it evens up the count.
Yeah, if you fall behind a Hurd and you get in trouble or you have to throw him a strike, it is a dangerous situation to be in.
Goes back to a fastball. This one bounces in the dirt as well. 2-1 the count. Hurd pops it up again. This one, Bermuda Triangle. Who's going to get it? It'll be the second baseman, Eli Meredith, who makes the catch, and the inning is over. The big train retired in order, 1-2-3, as Hurd now 0 for 2, as well as Rasmussen. A third of the way through this game, the Giants up 1-0. Third of the way through this game, Jesse Gutierrez back out to the mound, has kind of tried to command his pitches a little bit better. Pitch to contact guy who has allowed 6 hits so far for the first 3 innings of this game. And Zach Martin, number 5 hitter in the lineup, will lead it off. 5, 6, and 7 due up. And the first pitch on a lefty-on-lefty matchup is a good breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1. This one hit high out to left field. Hurd coming in. He's got the best angle. Jeffrey Hurd makes the catch. And it's out number 1. So Martin now has flown out twice. And here's Will Wickner.
Nice bounce back by Gutierrez. He's given up the 6 hits, and obviously you don't love to see that, but it's just the 1 run allowed.
First one will miss for a ball. Want to know the count?
And it feels like it's fair to say he has been in control of this game for the most part.
A breaking ball in there for a strike. It evens up the count 1-1. That breaking ball really has worked well. It's really been the fastball that has allowed the majority of the base hits. That breaking ball, though, especially against left-handers. Beautiful pitch. As this one misses outside.
It's a pitch he can locate and can get chasing from hitters.
There's the breaking ball. This one goes inside. 3-1 the count. So 1-4. Gutierrez allows his first walk of the game.
You wonder how long his leash is. We saw Patrick Galley after a lot of rest and not the sharpest stuff. Didn't allow a run, and 3 2/3 got taken out of the game. And wonder if you might see something similar like that here in this inning.
This one bounces in the dirt, gets away from DeLisi, kicks up the third base line, and it's an easy advance for Wickner on the wild pitch. This one hit off of what looked like Nick DeLisi's shin guard and kicked up the line, really his leg guard. 1 out, runner at second. 1-0 from Gutierrez. And it's a fastball that misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Good hitters count, 2-0. This one hit in the air out towards shallow center. Ruddle coming in. He'll make the catch, though, and it's out number 2 here in the 4th.
Yeah, big second out. All of a sudden, back in control of this inning. Just needed 1 out to get through the 4th.
Drew Ruggieri trying to keep the inning going. Trying to drive in another run for Gaithersburg. Gary made that great diving catch in left field, robbing Schiavone of a hit. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and the first one misses for a ball, 1-0. Gutierrez delivers, and this one misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes now, and starting to lose command, especially when working against the left-handed hitters.
And you imagine he'll go 4, maybe 5 if he can get out of it right here, but heading towards the end of his day.
Another breaking ball that misses. 3 balls and no strikes. Gutierrez delivers. And it's a 4-pitch walk, all of them missing low and outside. And now Delisi Guerrero will go out, and here comes Sal Colangelo going out to the mound.
Wonder if it's the same situation as earlier with Galle. 3 2/3, and the runners on the base path ultimately be the end of the day.
See, Colangelo saying something, I think, to everybody. I'm not sure if Gutierrez is going to get taken out, and he's not going to. Colangelo wants him to get through 4.
Now batting for the Giants, a sophomore at Chestnut Hill College, the second baseman, number 35, Eli Meredith.
And it's the number 9 hitter, Eli Meredith, who singled in his first AB. Big hole in the right side. And the first one goes off speed, misses outside, a ball and no strikes. One-0. This one foul tipped and held on to by Nick Delisi to even up the count. The runners off on contact. Base hit could easily score a second run. He takes something off, and Meredith misses it. Now 1-2.
Big pitch right here can keep it a 1-run game. And I think you imagine this is probably the end of the line for Gutierrez.
1-2 pitch. This one in the dirt. Good block by Nick Delisi. And evens up the count at 2-2.
See, it maybe goes high fastball here.
2-2. Doesn't. Goes with a breaking ball in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now it's 70 pitches, 40 strikes, 30 balls for Jesse Gutierrez. Runners will be off and going. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gutierrez looks the runner back. The payoff pitch. This one. Strike 3 called. And Eli Meredith can't believe it as he smiles and walks back to the dugout. Not happy, but Gutierrez is able to get out of the inning, stranding 2 and picking up a strikeout. And what could likely be the end of his day. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th, a 1-0 lead for the Giants here in Bethesda, Maryland.
The first baseman, number 34.
4, 5, and 6 due up for the big train. Carter Cunningham to lead it off. Giants versus Big Train, game 2 of the doubleheader here at Shirley Povich Field. The Big Train winning game 1, 10-1. And Cunningham swings at the first pitch from Carls and fouls this one back.
And Carls has been excellent, limiting this offense that put up 10 runs, but you imagine it's only a matter of time.
This is pitch number 46 for him. Cunningham fouls this one back, so Gutierrez over 70. The pitch count for Carls has been excellent. 2 hits allowed, and that's Cunningham 0-2. Here's the pitch, and Cunningham swings, drives this one out toward deep center field. That is way back there, but will die before the warning track. Cunningham just a little under it, and it's out number 1.
Now outside for the Big Train of Junior James Batson, the DH number 20, Jason Schiavone.
And here's Schiavone, who got robbed of a base hit in his last AB. Carter Cunningham now 10 for 28. The first one to Schiavone, a breaking ball, misses up and in, a ball and no strikes. This one a fastball, a little outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And you start to see the umbrellas come out because of how hot it is now, up to 93 degrees.
I like the idea.
Yeah. Schiavone swings and flies this one out toward center field. Now a long run in, and the catch will be made. Wickner in center for out number 2.
And continually, Carl's just getting soft contact, getting easy outs so far.
First one to Twigo, a breaking ball. This is inside, a ball and no strikes. Twigo at 250, does have 11 RBIs on the season. This one a fastball that misses low, 2 balls and no strikes. Now a good hitter's count. Twigo swings at it and flares this one out to right. This is going to stay up, and a good sliding play made by Martin in right field to end the inning. The Big Train can't get anything going. 7 in a row now retired from the right-hander Carls. 4 innings have come and gone here at Shirley Povich Field. The Giants still up by a run. Well, a new pitcher here for the big train. Jesse Gutierrez's day is done after a run and 6 hits. He is tabbed for the loss right now, but the big train will turn it over to Davion Hixson, who has not pitched in a game since June 15th, when he was in, of course, relief against the Alexandria Aces in one of the most impressive outings by any pitcher. 4 innings of relief, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts against another one of the best teams in the Cal Ripken League.
Yeah, really nice job in relief that night, and Hixson just hoping to continue to have that same success.
Williamson, the starting shortstop, and the leadoff man will start it off here in the 5th. And the first one from Hixson, a fastball upstairs. Of course, talked last time, just the 2-pitch mix. He's got the fastball, he's got the curve, but man, that curveball in Virginia the last time we saw him, very effective. Goes back to another fastball, now 2-0.
Yeah, the big thing for him with 2 pitches, you have to be able to locate both of them, because if you're down to 1 pitch, it allows hitters to sit on that.
This one, another fastball inside, 3 balls and no strikes. Straight fastballs, that one in for a strike. Three one. Make it 5 straight fastballs, and Hixson walks the first hitter he faces.
Now batting the DH number 36, Casey Gibbs.
And now here is Casey Gibbs, first time from the left side. First pitch, fastball that misses upstairs. Hixson has not used the curveball just yet. Big Train have already turned 2 double plays. Runner goes. DeLisi with a throw down. That's not going to be in time. To the wrong side of the bag. And easily making it in there. Williamson.
And Hixson just does not have the command of the fastball right now. And if you don't have the fastball command, it makes everything else difficult.
2-0. Outside now, 7 balls and just 1 strike on his first 8 pitches.
And you wonder if how much of this has to be the rust of not pitching in 10 days, and you imagine a lot of it.
3-0. This one a called strike on the corner. And a big pitch for Hixson.
You can throw a bullpen, you can do a lot of different things, but it is hard to replicate pitching in a live game.
3-1 on the corner. Hixson again going back to that same pitch, going with the fastball, and the count's full. 3-2. Hixson looks at the runner at second, now steps off. Three-two. There's the first curveball and a little outside, ball 4. And now DeLisi will come out to talk to Hixson.
That's a good pitch. Just a little outside. Unfortunately, with 3 balls, turns into ball 4, and DeLisi going to try and settle down his right-hander. Seemed to find the fastball later in that at-bat, but just a little too late.
And it was a good curveball, too. And we've seen a lot of the borderline pitches on the corners called for both sides, for the pitchers specifically. Now Hixson does have an opportunity for a double play, and this is a bunt that's right back into the net. Jake Butler, the number 3 hitter, with an opportunity to do some damage.
Now let's see if he squares again here. I wonder if they let him swing away after that first bunt attempt went awry.
Bunt. This one is popped up. Hixson, bare hands, throws to a covering Lucas Phelps, and he keeps his foot on the bag. And it's out number 1.
The first baseman, number 51, Matthew Williams.
And here is Matthew Williams. First pitch from Hixson with the infield inside for a ball. One 0. This one a good curveball on the corner. And the count at 1-1. 1-1. And another breaking ball in there for a strike. And now Hixson all of a sudden has found command of both pitches. One and two the count. The pitch. Curveball. Strike 3 called on the corner, Hixson. 3 straight curveballs and gets the K.
And that's his best pitch. It's just,
Yes.
the fastball is good, and you need a fastball. You can't just throw curveballs, but if you have to look fastball and then have to deal with that curveball as well, it is almost an impossible battle as long as he has command over both.
Zach Martin now 2 outs, trying to deliver a huge hit here for Gaithersburg. He takes a curveball in there for a strike. Oh, 0-1 the count. The pitch. Fastball, big swing and a miss, 0-2.
Took him a little time to settle in, and man, he is tough to hit once he is settled in.
Got a chance to work out of it. No balls, 2 strikes. Hixson back to the fastball, but misses upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes. Base hit could mean trouble for the big train with the way they've been swinging the bat so far here in game 2. 1-2, breaking ball. Misses outside to even up the count. At 2-2, Hixson taking his time, facing Martin. The pitch, curveball, swung on, popped up, but this one will go out of play. Two and two the count. Hixson back to the breaking ball, misses outside. The count's full at 3-2. Martin 0 for 2 today, just 3 for 29 on the season. Does have a couple of RBIs, could double it with a base hit here. 3-2, breaking ball, outside ball 4. So the curveball, when it's inside, is getting the call. When it's outside, it's not. And the bases are loaded.
Yeah, that's exactly right. When it is on the inner part of the plate to lefties, outside to righties, it's just a bigger strike zone on that side.
And here is Wickner. Breaking ball that misses. A ball and no strikes, and that's got to be a little frustrating for Hixson. You can't just constantly throw fastballs in there with only having 2 pitches. He's got to be able to get that curveball. It's just such a tight zone right now. There's the curveball. This one, he goes in more, and it misses as well. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, that one misses upstairs from Hixson.
Good hitters count. 2-0 fastball on the corner for a strike. 2 outs, 2 and 1. This one on the ground over to first. Cunningham flips to Hixson. He covers in time. And Davion Hixson, after loading the bases with 3 walks, gets out of it. As the Giants strand the bases loaded, they still have a lead. To the bottom of the 5th we go. It's 1-0. And we welcome you back to Shirley Povich Field here in the bottom of the 5th, a 1-0 lead. And Eli, we've talked about Catalyst hot dogs a little bit throughout this season, but we got something a little bit new here, a brand new item on the menu. And of course, also with that, we get to debut the new booth camera as well. But we have the John Footlong.
John
Of course,
Footlong.
John Long, outfielder for the Big Train, and it's something that Catalyst Hot Dog often does, where they will talk to some of the players and figure out how they like their hot dogs, maybe add it to the menu for a season, as Guerrero sends one into deep center field, but he will fly out for the first out.
Yeah, Chris, who runs Catalyst Hot Dogs. I mean, first of all, let's just start with fantastic hot
Oh,
dogs.
absolutely.
Like, you can have a hot dog. You can think you know what you're going to get when you order a hot dog, and this will exceed those expectations. Personally, typically, not a fan of hot dogs.
Talisi on the ground to the right side, an underhand flip to a covering Carls, and he's got it now, 2 quick outs.
Typically, I'm not someone who prefers hot dogs as my ballpark snack,
Yes.
but this is the exception. I don't just say that because it's with the Big Train, and that's who I work for. Legitimately, I get a hot dog most games. I
Yes.
feel like you can vouch for that.
Oh, absolutely. So do I. Now, we'll have to talk about what's on this. So this is cheese sauce and ketchup, which
That's how John Long likes
that's
it.
how John Long likes it, apparently. Here's Zeb Ruddle, who takes this one outside for a ball. Never been a big cheese sauce guy, though, but I'm very interested in trying this.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting combination, but if you come to the ballpark, have to get a Catalyst hot dog, should try the John Long.
Yes, and these are only available
Footlong.
here as well.
Yeah, so there are a couple dogs that are specific to Big Train players. The Nico Suave dog is from Nick Del Prado from last year, one of the best pitchers on the Big Train. A couple other options, and Chris said, and he's right, the John Footlong just writes itself.
Oh, yes.
Essentially with, the last name Long. And he says probably 1 or 2 more coming out this summer,
Ooh,
making
that's
their
good.
debut.
That means we'll have to do this more and more as Ruddle takes a fastball in there for a strike, 3-1 the count.
Yeah, and at some point we're going to get Chris on the air. Today was a busy day for him, doing
Yes.
a bunch of different things with breakfast sandwiches in the morning.
This one, a breaking ball down and in, goes to the backstop. It's a 2-out walk for Ruddle, and the tying run is on.
But you take another look.
Yes, there it is.
John Long dog, or John Footlong.
John Footlong, there you go.
But
I love the ketchup, too. They went back and forth. They didn't just line it on the top, went back and forth, and then the cheese sauce in the middle.
yeah, it looks delicious. All the hot dogs are delicious. The breakfast sandwiches today look delicious. Doing a special breakfast sandwich for a 10 a.m. start time. But we're eventually going to get Chris on the air, and it'll be a joy to talk with him. Just such an interesting guy, such a cool story about Catalyst. And loyal to the big train who gave him his start.
Yeah, it's certainly something that makes our team very unique. It's not just about what's on the field, it's what we also do. It's why we have these, event nights as well. But the food is extremely important. Breaking ball misses upstairs. The throw goes into center field. Ruddle safe at second. Started to go to third. Now heads back. And Coach Calvin Morris, who coaches third base, applauding Ruddle for realizing that, no, I was going to be thrown out. I got to hit back to second base. And now Lucas Phelps, and a great hitter's count at 2-0, has a chance to tie this game if he can plate Zeb from second. First time Carls has been in a jam in quite some time, since the second. 2-0. And a big swing and a miss here on a fastball up and in. This one up and in. Similar pitch. Misses too far inside. 3-1 the count.
A big opportunity for the big train here to potentially tie the game if they can pick up a big base hit.
Three-one. Phelps on the ground, down to third. Backhanded and knocked down. Ruddle is safe at third. No throw made to first, and it's runners at the corners.
Yeah, couldn't get the play, and all of a sudden the big train in some business with a pair of guys on. And that might be the end of the day. Potentially, although there's no one up in the bullpen, so take that back.
Carls has been excellent, and I think that was ruled as an error. Yes, ruled as an error, not as a base hit, which I would agree with. That's a play that Butler should make on the backhand. But they want Carls to finish this off. He's looked fantastic, just 2 hits allowed in 4 2/3 innings against the best lineup in this league.
Yeah, I mean, he's been fantastic on the mound in both of his starts now.
Now batting for the big train, the shortstop number 13.
And it's Connor Rasmussen. And Butler, only play would have been to third. Ruddle easily made it there, decided not to slide, went in standing up. Now the tying run 90 feet away, and Rasmussen takes the first pitch fastball upstairs. 1-0 the count.
There's a great opportunity for the big train. Take advantage of some mistakes from the Giants and chance to strike.
This one down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. Another really good hitter's count. Rasmussen swings and pops it up. Tried to attack in the 2-0 count instead of being patient, and he pops out to shallow right field where it's Meredith, the second baseman, going out and making the play. And Carls, 5 innings of 2-hit ball, no runs allowed. The big train, their best opportunity in this game, couldn't bring Ruddle in from third. We'll go to the 6th. The Giants still up by a run. The big train threatened, couldn't bring in the tying run. Davion Hixson back out to the mound. Bottom half of the order, 7-8-9 due up, and a breaking ball to Brendan Kleiman, the catcher. And there for a strike, quickly moving. 0-1, a fastball that misses outside, a ball and a strike, and at least he had to look in the glove, make sure he had it.
Wasn't so sure. Might have gotten to the backstop, but nice grab.
It's a breaking ball in there, and the count's 1-2. Ball on 2 strikes. Hixson delivers. Fastball way upstairs to even up the count, 2-2. Two. Breaking ball. Hit in the air. Down the line. That ball is a fair ball. And extra bases for Kleiman as he gets into second base standing with a double.
Now, he didn't think it was going to be a fair ball out of the box. Stopped running a few steps out and then realized that ball might land fair and took off again.
First one, a breaking ball. His bunt is shown by Ruggieri, a left fielder. Bunt again. This one goes to third. Guerrero originally charging in, then backed up to cover third, thinking this ball was headed more to the pitcher, and it's going to be an infield single with a bunt.
And that's miscommunication. One of those bunt plays. Usually the idea is if what looked to be the case there was that the first baseman crashes, third baseman reads, and if it comes past the pitcher's mound, it's his job to field it, and if it doesn't, it's the pitcher's. But it looked like Hixson thought it was bunted hard enough. Guerrero didn't.
Opposite field, line drive, base hit. Eli Meredith for the first time from the left side gets a base hit to the opposite field. It's a 2-0 game. Nine hits now for Gaithersburg and 2 on with nobody out.
Yeah, they have a chance to put up a big number here in this inning and really take control.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. Owen won the count. This one, check swing didn't go around, says the first base umpire. 1-1. Bunt showed. This one is, I think it's offered at, and I think it hit off of Nick DeLisi, so it should be a 1-2 count.
And you saw how hard Carter Cunningham was crashing towards the plate at first. You could see him racing down that first base line.
One and two. Cunningham in at first. The pitch. This one, a breaking ball that hits Williamson. And the bases are loaded with nobody out.
And this is a dangerous spot for the big train. Can't let this game get away.
The DH number 36, Casey Gibbs.
And it's Casey Gibbs, who's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles and a walk. Gibbs with a huge opportunity here for Gaithersburg. This one a breaking ball that misses, a ball and no strikes. Temperature now up to 95 degrees, continuing to get warmer. 3 o'clock here in Bethesda, Maryland, and a called strike with a fastball.
Yeah, incredibly warm day.
This one on the ground to the right side. No one covering first. Now Hixson getting over there. The play is made. A run will score to make it 3-0, but it's a huge out for the big train.
Yeah, they needed the out. But a run does come in to score, and still 2 more on the base paths.
The third baseman, number 28, Jake Butler.
Meredith at third and Williamson at second. Jake Butler with the infield in. And a breaking ball that misses inside. One 0. Fastball in there for a strike, 1-1. They want the out at home, want to limit it to just a 3-run lead. This one hit in the air, deep down the left field line, into the corner. This one a foul ball into the bullpen.
Big Train might have caught a break.
It was a breaking ball that Butler just swung early on. One ball, 2 strikes. Hixson. This one ripped down the line again, but this one also going into the bullpen. Maybe cleared it. It did into the tennis courts.
Hixson needs a really good pitch here to get a strikeout.
One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Hixson with a huge strikeout. Out number 2, and it brings up Matthew Williams.
Matthew Williams.
Just want a breaking ball that doesn't really break that much and misses upstairs. Misses as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Good hitters count. See if Williams takes a hack at it. He does, and it's belted down the line. Hurd in the corner makes the grab right in front of the wall. And nearly a big home run. Instead, a long fly out. But Gaithersburg pulls ahead, now leading by 3. Bottom of the 6th coming up. The big train down 3-0. Well, a new pitcher taking over. It's the right-hander, number 49, Patrick Bauer. And a marvelous performance from Nicholas Carls. He is in line for a win. And Gaithersburg able to give him some extra insurance with a couple of runs there in the 6th. Bauer, though, will have to face a tough part of the order. Jeffrey Hurd to lead it off. And the first one will miss for a ball.
Yeah, the big train just struggling to get the offense going, but let's see if a new pitcher changes their fortunes.
Hurd takes a pitch on the corner for a strike. Two and one the count. Bethesda just looking for base runners. This one misses, now 3-1.
Yeah, Hurd trying to get something started. Don't want to have to wait till the 9th to get it all back.
3-1. Hurd rips it down the line, but foul. Nearly hit the first base umpire as well. Just out in front of a fastball.
He's been seeing the ball well today.
Yeah, he's had a good couple of games. I know today, in this game specifically, he's got a couple of pop-outs, but, you know, he's swinging at good pitches in the zone. 3-2. Inside, ball 4. Hurd draws the walk, and it's exactly what the big train needed, a leadoff base runner.
Now sets up the middle of the lineup.
Cunningham an 0 for 2 day so far. Pop out and a fly out. Throw over with Hurd diving back in time. Cunningham pops it up. Train just have not been able to time up some of these fastballs, and it's caught out there at shortstop by Williamson.
Now batting for the big train, the DH number 20, Hixson, Schiavone.
I've had just a couple times where they've gotten under the ball with runners on base and pop-ups. Tough way to get rallies going.
Big hole on the right side. This one bounces in the dirt. Jason Schiavone, the hitter. Want another count. And a throw over. Hurd just back in time. Count still 1-0. And it's a fastball. That's a called strike. Schiavone shakes his head. A nice frame job by Kleiman behind home plate, moving that ball back in on a borderline pitch on the corner to an easy strike in the zone. 1-1. And another throw over, keeping an eye on Hurd.
It's absolutely a threat to run. Does have good speed.
1-1. The pitch. This one down and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Schiavone, patient eye at the plate. Talked about his walks earlier. Takes this one outside. Now 3-1 the count. A walk would bring the tying run to the plate. Schiavone swings at a 3-1 pitch that looked like it was going outside. And now 3-2.
That's a big moment in this game if the big train can get a couple guys on.
Now throw over with a runner diving back in time. And another throw over. Count's still full. Bauer paying attention to Jeffrey Hurd. And another throw over. In time! Oh my goodness, Jeffrey Hurd can't believe it. And now he will go back to the dugout. And eventually Patrick Bauer picks off Hurd for out number 2.
And that's a big turn of events.
3-2. This one misses. Ball 4. Schiavone draws the walk. And now Dean Twigo.
The right fielder, number 23, Dean Twigo.
First one to Twigo. This one is popped up. Foul territory near the wall, and the catch is made by Williams. And the inning ends. The big train strand a runner. Still nothing going for them offensively, only 2 hits. We'll go to the 7th. It's 3-0 Giants. New pitcher will be the right-hander Jack Hostetler as he takes over the Whitman College product for his 4th appearance of the year. A 1-1 record, and has not pitched since the 14th down in Lorton against the Metro Soco Braves when he delivered 4 innings of 1-run ball, and it's really just been an outing on June 6th against the Aces that has inflated his numbers. If you take out that outing, 7 innings, 1 earned run. The first pitch from Hostetler in there for a strike. Of course, that game against the Aces, 5 runs in total in just an inning of work. 1-0. This one, slow roller. That is going to stay fair. And the tag is applied for the first out. Wow.
Right on the line and
The center fielder number
able to
7,
make the play.
And now here's Will Wickner. First pitch. And it's a fastball from Hostetler on the corner for a strike. This one, line drive out toward left center, and a great running grab, and a good read by Zeb Ruddle. 4 out, number 2.
A defensive center fielder that is excellent out in the outfield. Gets great jumps and has a ton of speed.
2 outs. And Kleiman with an opportunity. 1 for 3 with a double in this game. 2 outs and the pitch. A breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. Stetler would love a 3-up, 3-down inning in his first outing in 11 days. This one on the ground to third, could get it. Guerrero, the throw in time. Jack Hostetler looking good. 3 up, 3 down, a couple of ground balls, and that line out to center field. It's 7th inning stretch time. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 3-0. Well, the big train have been shut out so far in this game, but they still have 9 outs to work with, and it will be the bottom part of the order due up. Jack Guerrero, Nick DeLisi, and Zeb Ruddle. Guerrero, 1 for 2 days so far. He was the first hit of the ball game, and now lines this one out toward right center field, and he's now got the 3rd hit of the ball game now. 2-hit day now for Guerrero. One hit for Phelps, 2 now for Guerrero. And it's what the big train needed. And a correction, actually has the 2nd and 3rd hit with Phelps leading off the game with that double, as now here's Nick DeLisi.
Yeah, really nice swing of the bat. Looking to get something going for the big train.
Big hole on the right side. DeLisi on the ground to second. Flip and a first in time. A 4-6-3 double play. And as soon as the big train get a base runner, it's immediately erased. Perfectly positioned Eli Meredith, the second baseman.
Center fielder number 14, Zeb Ruddle.
And it's Zeb Ruddle. Two outs. Here's Ruddle. Drew a walk in his last plate appearance and takes a big swing and comes up with nothing. Oh, 1. This one, breaking ball that misses low. One. Ruddle fouls this one off. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Ruddle, swing and a miss, strike 3. Bounces hard off the backstop. The throw to first is going to be in time. Ruddle is retired. And the inning ends quickly. Patrick Bauer gets through that part of the lineup. We'll go to the 8th. It's 3-0 Giants.
The big train haven't been shut out at home since June 16, 2017, and we head to the 8th. They're down 3-0 to the Gaithersburg Giants. It's the Giants up to bat in the top of the 8th, and for the play-by-play, Adam Glover.
Yeah, we're kind of in unfamiliar territory for quite some time now. Hostetler, the right-hander, back out to the mound, and a big swing and a miss. Gary, the left fielder, leading it off, 8-9-1, due up for Gaithersburg. 0-1. This one fouled off into the net. No balls and 2 strikes.
Big Train were shut out last year
Yes.
on the road against the Braves, and in the playoffs were shut out here at home back in 2019 in Game 1.
That's still 4 years ago. This is the last time we've been shut out at Shirley Povich. In the air to left field, Jeffrey Hurd settling under it. He's got it. And it's out number 1. And here's Eli Meredith. He's made a couple of good defensive plays. Also is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and an RBI. Pitch from Hostetler. This one fouled off.
Yeah, it just hasn't happened a lot. Of course, 2019, the year that the Big Train had to come back to win the title. Down 1-0 against the T-Bolts after that shutout. Won games 2 and 3.
0-1 fastball upstairs. 1-1. Of course, we have College World Series tonight. Hoping, at least I hope LSU ends up winning it. Swing and a miss, 1-2, but kind of hope that the Gators win tonight. I would love to watch a Game 3 tomorrow on our off day.
And it would probably be Caglione versus Skeens.
Yes, I don't think you can get any better of a pitching matchup than that this year. 1-2, take something off, a big swing and a miss. Meredith strikes out for the second time, and it's out number 2.
Well, you had maybe the best pitching matchup of the year when Wake and LSU faced off.
Yes.
Skeens versus Louder. And a game that was scoreless till the 11th.
Ryan Williamson, the shortstop with 2 outs. Takes a breaking ball on the corner for a strike. It's going to be sad not having college baseball, you know. And for me, this one on the ground to the left side. Diving stop made by Guerrero. Throws to first offline. It was in and out of the glove. That will be an infield hit.
Just have to wait till mid-February.
Yeah. And for me, I watch a lot of and follow along because Florida is such a big state for baseball in general. I often follow along with a lot of those Division II schools and junior colleges, and they always start usually last week of January, so even earlier.
Not too far away.
Hey, we got fall ball coming up, though. That'll be fun. This one, a fastball at the knees, 0-1.
Yeah, some good D2 programs down in Florida, Nova, Southeastern, in the Miami area. Powerhouse, usually.
This one, hit and run on, grounder out to second. Phelps will throw to first in time, and the inning ends. So a 2-out single, and the runner is left stranded out there. Hostetler has gone 2 shutout innings of work. To the bottom of the 8th we go. The big train trying to avoid being shut out. New pitcher in the 8th inning, Dominic Velas, the left-hander. Another Gaithersburg, Maryland resident playing for his hometown team. Takes over here in the 8th, having pitched 4 2/3 innings already this year. Has not allowed an earned run. Last pitched on the 18th against the Braves in that 12-11 loss. Gave up 2 runs. They were not earned, but not sharp, though. 2 hits and 3 walks as well. However, those first 3 outings, excellent, and pitched in the 26-0 loss against the Big Train on the 13th, won an inning, walking 2 and striking out 2. This is top of the order here. Lucas Phelps, He takes a strike to even up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, the Giants saved their best arms for this second game, and it has paid dividends so far.
Phelps takes a breaking ball that misses. For the big train, it's just you hope that maybe they can get some runners here because it's, you know, the few times they've gotten them on, you've had a double play. Jeffrey Hurd got picked off. You know, get a little bit of momentum, maybe a walk, just a single, something like that. They got a chance here with Phelps in a 3-1 count. The pitch. And ball 4, and it's what the big train needed, a leadoff walk. And if there's one thing that has been an issue for Velas, despite 4 2/3 shutout innings, now 7 walks with that one there.
Hey, he's going to have to figure it out. And the big train hoping to find some offensive momentum with the top of the order at the plate.
And here's Rasmussen. Takes the first pitch fastball upstairs, a ball and no strikes. One-0. This one finds the zone to even up the count, 1-1. Rasmussen just trying to keep the line moving. Got big holes on both the left and the right side. And he swings, hits this one in the air out toward right field. The catch will be made, and it's out number 1. With Rasmussen getting jammed, able to pull that ball still, but no real exit velocity on it. The right fielder, Zach Martin, easily making the grab. So here's Jeffrey Hurd now. 0 for 2 with a walk. Trying to keep the line moving the same way they hoped Rasmussen would. And this is a first pitch that misses upstairs, like a breaking ball out of the hand. 1-0 the count. Velas trying to send it to the 9th. Time is called, and we have what looks to be a baseball on the field. I assume came from the Bethesda Big Train bullpen. And time was called, so it's 1-0. That pitch did miss, but will not be counted with time being called by the second base umpire first. 1-0. This one misses, now 2 balls and no strikes.
And command the issue right now for Velas. Giving the big train a little bit of life here in the 8th.
And if you're Bethesda, don't swing until he can find the zone. 2-0. This one misses, 3 balls and no strikes. A walk to Hurd would bring up Cunningham, and he would represent the tying run. 3-0 to Jeffrey Hurd, looking for his second walk. And it's a called strike. 3-1 the count.
That's a good pitch. Slider, tough to hit if he can throw it right there.
3-1. Hurd swings, pops it up again. This one drifting out toward left, and the catch will be made by Williamson, the shortstop. And it's now the 3rd time that Hurd pops out. Do you agree with swinging 3-1 when you need base runners?
I don't hate it. It's Jeffrey Hurd. You've seen the production that he has produced, and I think you want him to get as many swings of the bat as possible with how well he's hit the ball today.
Big hole on the right side. Carter Cunningham takes a strike on the corner.
I understand the hesitancy, though.
Yes.
But it also looked like a strike, and then now all of a sudden it's 3-2.
Throw over, just a little lob. Runner back in time. 3 hits for the big train. 2 for Guerrero, 1 for Phelps. Cunningham jammed, popped up, foul territory. Butler is there. He makes the grab, and once again, the big train It's now 3 straight innings with a leadoff base runner, and they can't do anything. Nothing going well for them offensively in game 2. We'll go to the 9th. The Giants up 3-0. Ninth inning here at Shirley Povich Field. Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Giants and the Big Train. Bethesda being shut out right now, and all they can hope for is that Hostetler, in his 3rd inning of work, can just deliver a shutout 9th and hope the bats can awaken in the bottom half of the inning. And the first one is popped up. This one, foul territory and out of play. This is the number 3 hitter, Jake Butler, a .318 hitter on the season. 6 runs batted in, including an RBI earlier in the game on a double, which was the first run of the game back in the 3rd. And this one misses inside. One. This one hit in the air out to left field. Got under it, though. Jeffrey Hurd back. He makes the grab, and it's the first out.
Now, Hostetler has done a really nice job in relief. Keep the Big Train in this game.
Matthew Williams. 1 for 4 afternoon. Singled in the 2nd. Has struck out twice as well. First pitch. This one on the corner for a strike. Good breaking ball. Won the count. The pitch. This one hit in the air out toward right field. Twigo going back, settling under it. He'll make the catch. And it's out number 2. Pitching today, though, for the Big Train, excellent in both games. 4 runs allowed in what's going to be, if they can get the out here, 18 innings. Got good starts. The bullpen's been great. Hostetler has looked really well.
Yeah, just need the offense to come alive in the 9th.
This one is Zach Martin. Fouls this one back. Hostetler looking for 3 shutout innings of relief. Popped up. This one back. And this one out of play. Landing in front of us. Still haven't had the foul ball bounce up yet. We had one. You remember? I can't remember what it was. It might have been the exhibition game, but hit the windows over there.
Yeah, we're close. It's going to take some good luck.
0-2. This one misses. A ball and 2 strikes. For that final strike, this one fouled back into the net. We'll do it again at 1-2. 1-2 again from Hostetler. This one upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2, nobody on. 2 outs. The pitch. Breaking ball outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two. This one popped up in the infield. It'll be Cunningham, the first baseman, who calls. Catch will be made, and the inning is over. So the big train unable to really do much of anything. The pitching, though, however, has been excellent so far. Hostetler, you know, a guy who has had an inflated ERA because of that one outing, looking good so far. So we'll go to the 9th. But beforehand, Kaylee Tallman with her grandmother here on Grandparents' Day for the final interview of the game. Well, the big train down to their final 3 outs, but they can string across a couple of base runners here. They will have a chance. That's all you got to hope for right now. Jason Schiavone, the perfect guy to start it off. We'll see what he does, and he takes the first pitch fastball in there for a strike from the lefty Bayless. We appreciate you being with us here in both Game 1 and 2 of this doubleheader here on the Big Train Baseball Network. My partner Eli Kleinman, I'm Adam Glover. As we continue on. Only a month of games complete. 1-1. This one inside. 2 balls and a strike.
And you just need to get guys on. Need a couple guys on to bring the tying run to the plate.
Swing and a miss, 2-2. Again, the big train got leadoff base runners in the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and have not been able to do anything. Also got a leadoff base runner in the 1st as well. 2-2. Schiavone breaks his bat, little popper out to short. It'll stay up and be caught by Williamson, and it's out number 1.
That bat didn't just break, that was shattered.
Shattered, yeah. He got jammed. You could hear it, and you could just see what the ball did as well. Got him in on the hands. And you could still see the pieces around the start of the first baseline. And it's going to be a pinch hitter in Teddy Ruffner.
Trying to do all they can to get something started.
Pinch hitting for Dean Twigo, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of flyouts and a pop-out. And the first pitch misses upstairs. A ball and no strikes. Ruffner hitting .294 in the year with 9 RBIs. Played in Game 1. And now pinch hitting here in Game 2. This one misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Now Ruffner in a good hitter's count. 2-0. Down and in. 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0. This one inside ball 4, and it's a 1-out walk for Teddy Ruffner.
And none of those pitches really came that close.
And here is Jack Guerrero, who has seen the ball best in this game. 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Responsible for 2 of the 3 hits. See if he can get on and bring the tying run to the plate. And he takes this one high and outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. A righty is throwing in the bullpen for Gaithersburg. This one low and outside, 2 balls and no strikes, and now Kleiman will go out to talk to Velas, struggling with command, and now a trip out to the mound as well.
Yeah, it's a good idea. You just need him to throw strikes right now, and not doing it. Huge spot in this game.
And if I'm Guerrero, I'm taking all the way right here. I wouldn't swing the bat until he can find the zone, and he hasn't been able to do that over the last 2 hitters, and this one misses as well. Now 3 balls and no strikes. And you have Dixon Williams, who's going to pinch hit for Nick DeLisi, waiting on deck. 3-0. And a called strike on the corner, 3-1.
You imagine if he walks him here, it might be his last batter.
Yeah, as much as you would like to have a lefty on against Williams, the command not there. 3-1. This one upstairs, ball 4. Guerrero draws the walk, and it will bring the tying run to the plate. And it's Dixon Williams.
Well, they're sticking with the lefty. I understand why, but I'm not sure it's the right move if you're the Giants.
Williams takes the first one inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Zeb Ruddle on deck. A lot of lefties coming up outside of Lucas Phelps. There's a couple of hitters away. Williams takes a big swing on 1-0 and fouls it off. One. Williams shoots this one down the line, but foul. And now has to protect at 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. So on a breaking ball outside, 2-2. Big Train, no offense in this game, but they're not done yet. 2-2. Upstairs, the count is full, 3-2. Don't turn off the game just yet. Count is full on Dixon Williams. Pinch hitter Ruffner drew a walk. We'll see what Williams does. He swings, drives this one out towards center field. That's deep. Center fielder didn't get a good read on it. It's over his head. It will score Ruffner. They are going to hold Guerrero. It's an RBI double for Dixon Williams. It's 3-1. Poor read by Wickner in center. And now a base hit. And this game could be all tied up. And another trip to the mound, which will likely signal the end of Velas' outing. And it will. Alrighty, coming on. Throw it to break. You're watching Big Train Baseball on the Big Train Baseball Network. New pitcher will be right-hander Mason Levin from Harford Community College. And he's going to face another pinch hitter in Jacob Orr. It's a 3-1 game. And there are runners in third and second. Pinch hitters have worked in this inning. Ruffner walked, Dixon Williams with an RBI double. Gaithersburg playing for the out, and the first pitch misses upstairs for a ball.
Go ahead, run at the plate.
1-0. This is inside, 2 balls and no strikes. The big train will not be shut out. Been shut out since nearly a year ago against the Braves. Hadn't been shut out in a regular season game at home. Line drive right to third. Diving back to the bag. Guerrero in safely. Nearly a game-ending double play. What a catch by Butler. And nearly doubled off Guerrero.
Now back to the big train. The second baseman, number 2, Lucas.
Wow. And now the big train down to their final out. It's Lucas Phelps.
Catch a bit of a break because of how hard that ball was hit. That Guerrero stayed close enough to the bag to be able to get back.
Well, Phelps doubled in the first. He's also reached on an error and drawn a walk. On the ground, too short. The throw on the run in time. Lucas Phelps grounds out. And this game is over. The big train dropped the second game of the doubleheader. A final score of 3-1. Attempting a comeback there in the ninth, but stranding the tying run out at second base. Runners at third and second. Just kind of a unfortunate way to end this day, Eli, after a 10-1 win in game 1.
Yeah, and just the offense production was not there in game 2, and you score 1 run, you're not going to win too many games.
Yeah, look at the lines here. 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Giants. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the big train. The pitching was excellent. Hostetler looked great, though, for a guy who had not pitched in 11 days. You know, very similar, kind of knock off the rust. But this isn't a guy who usually comes in a lot of high-leverage situations. So great to see him go out there, give him 3 shutout innings.
Yeah, it was really impressive stuff. Hostetler kept the game close, but the big train just not enough offensive firepower to rally late.
Well, again, final score, Giants 3, Big Train 1. We appreciate you tuning in for both of the games today. Again, you got up early. That was a 10 a.m. game. So from all of us here at Shirley Povich Field and of the Big Train Baseball Network, we appreciate you tuning in. For my partner, Eli Kleiman, of course, our on-field reporter, Kaylee Tallman, our broadcast director, Harrison Myers. I'm Adam Glover saying so long to you. We'll be back on the air Wednesday in Waldorf against the Southern Maryland Senators.